viewers watching in New and abroad to the inaugural Under-23 Auckland Hockey Forgesson-Archibald Shield supported by Chester's Plumbing. Now today's matches are the brainchild of Auckland Hockey's coach development officer Joe Hanks and CEO Menoj Daji. Now due to the removal of a national Under-23 tournament, New Zealand's largest province has formed clustered teams from around New Zealand to play each other and provide a put up your hand opportunity in front of Under-23 players in our city. Now the teams taking the field today are the South East Storm with players from the Pakadanga and Southern District clubs, the Central Cavaliers with players from the Somerville University, Grammar Windsor and Auckland Indians clubs, and the West Auckland Wanderers with players from the Rossville Western and Waitaki clubs. Now both the men's and women's team comprise players between 18 and 23 and all are looking to put up their hand for selection later this year for either the NHC teams, the Hockey New Zealand HPU21 camp or the HNZPHL teams. Now the Storm makes up Regan Harnell, number 2 Kieran Chiba, number 3 Stuart Pearson, number 4 Brett Menezes, number 5 Simran Singh, number 6 Manraj Gill, 7 Sahib Singh, 8 Luke Holmes, 9 Shea Iswad, 10 Dylan Muggleston, 11 Max Rasmussen, 12 Liam Smith, 14 Luke Clark, 18 Jacob Ambrose, 19 Alex Steinberg, 15 Jasmine, and the Cavaliers Patel, 2 Nishan Patel, 3 Jaden Daya, 4 Caleb Walter, 5 Daniel Easton, 8 Jaden Gosha, 9 Greenfell, 10 Prashant Patel, 12 James Stables, 13 Josh Child, 14 Keshan Nasai, 16 Jaden Lull, 17 Ronick Mystery, 18 Oliver Patterson, and 19 Braden Jerem, and 20 Stables. Now commentating with me today is CEO Menoj Daji, CEO of Hockey and former NHL coach. So Menoj, how did this all come about today? We've got a beautiful day for it as well. Guys ready to play some hockey.
Lucky, a couple of stars aligned. So Joe Hanks, coach development officer, came to me with an idea, and on that same night before I'd been watching my godson play in Auckland Rugby 21 comp on Sky Next. So next day we made a few phone calls, and then we offered it up. And Grant Chester, kindly life member of Auckland Hockey, kindly said he would support us, and we pitched it to the clubs, and off we went. So within 3 days we had the concept going. So we're stoked with it.
Awesome. So on the left here we've got the Southeast Auckland Storm.
That's right.
And on the right we've got the Central Cavaliers. Is there any players that we need to watch out for today?
Oh yes, a couple of really good players out there. Not to say the others aren't, but we've got Regan Harnell in the goal, who has been identified by and invited to the most recent camp on the Southeast Storm. And number 9 Southeast Shea Iswa, performance centre player as number 11 at the back, Max Rasmussen, who's moved back up from Dunedin and finishing his studies and is now working back up in Auckland.
Nice. Well, as we can see, the Forgesson-Archibald Shield is underway and both teams are asserting themselves early and trying to get that ball up the field. Central Cavaliers with the ball now, heading up on that left flank. And can they get it? No. The Southeast Storm seem to have been able to get a turnover and head up the field. And that's a free hit to the Southeast Auckland Storm. Now Menoj, who else can we expect to see? I suppose pushing for that under 21 camp. So there's some young guys playing in this tournament as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Some kids that have just come out of school. So some boys were identified in the New Zealand under 18 camp in a COVID year, and they didn't get a run. So Luke Holmes there in the South Storm, number 8. Look out for Dylan Mugglestone, number 10 in the Southeast Storm. Brett Menzies, number 4 in the South Storm, and Kieran Chibber, number 2 in the South Storm. So there's some good young talent there. And the other team, Cavaliers, Josh Child, number 13 at the back.
Now, is there any relation to Child's that have been...
It's Graham Child's son, actually. So, former chairman of New Zealand Hockey.
All right, the Storm looked like they've got some space up that right-hand flank. But no. Cavaliers stop them. They're heading back up the field. It's Daniel Easton on the ball at the moment. He gets the free hit. And they start to go up that right flank. And we're looking good here, going into the circle. And that's a free hit. Taken for the Central Cavaliers here now. What are these guys going to do, Manoj? It seems like early this defence is quite
strong. Yeah. Look, Daniel Easton in the Cavaliers, good midfielder, number 5. He did get invited to a NZ Under-21 camp a couple of years ago. Out of university now working. Good talent. In his school days, he was nationally ranked runner. I think at the 400 metre level. And Will Stables, centre-half captain out of Auckland Grammar School a few years ago, but capital team to the last national Under-21 title. So some good talent on the other side as well.
And the Storm are looking like they're getting a bit of a flow on here. When we get into the circle for the Cavaliers, Storm. And that's a free hit now for the Storm. Can the Cavaliers hold them out? This could be our first goal action that we get this morning. We're heading up that right-hand flank. Into the circle. Is that a penalty corner?
Yeah, penalty corner.
Penalty corner for the Auckland Storm.
So Joe's put in a couple of innovations, Michelle. So the first one today is if a team scores a field goal, they get a bonus opportunity by having a shootout straight afterwards. And then if the game is at the end of the full time, it's a draw. Then we go to a sudden
I should be going
What was the thought behind that?
I should be going
Make
in.
things more exciting?
Yeah, I think Joe just wanted to see some more attacking play by the teams and reward that. If we can score a field goal, then you get another opportunity.
Right, so now we see Shay Iswa, the captain of the South East Auckland Storm. He'll be pulling the ball out for them and seeing where they go at the top of the circle. Drag flick is blocked, and they have another chance here. The South East Auckland Storm, another shot at a penalty corner. Will they look again for that drag flick?
Yeah, I think, Dylan Mugglestone's a good young flicker, so probably to get his confidence up, you would hope they give him another crack at it.
Yeah.
They were pretty quickly out though.
Pretty quick.
That's Daniel Easton's running ability.
And that is a goal for the South East Auckland Storm. Who took that, Manoj?
That was Dylan Mugglestone.
Mugglestone. So again, second chance he gets it.
Yeah, he got it, and he went to the a difficult side for any young flicker. So well done to him.
South East Auckland Storm are up 1-0. Can the Cavaliers draw equal? We see as they bring the ball up the field now. Slowly working their way up. Seeing if there's any gaps up there, but it looks pretty good, that press that the South East Auckland Storm are setting up. And that's a free hit for the Cavaliers. So how did you guys select these teams as well? I mean, is it pretty balanced amongst all of them?
Yeah, it is pretty much. We pretty much just looked at the cohort of the age group and went under 23 as opposed to under 21.
Yep.
Found out if there were some kids coming into the city that were coming in after Christmas, and we've just been stoked with the preparation, Michelle. Yeah. Paul White, our conditioning guy, who was a hockey man and played in the NHL himself, put them through a great program before Christmas, and the test for us was to see what sort of shape they came back in. Came back in good shape, so we're happy about that.
Yeah, well, they're playing in really hot.
It's really hot conditions.
Yeah. And that's the Central Auckland Cavaliers. They still are with possession, looking to see if they can wrangle their way into that circle. And the ball is in there, but
that's Manraj Singh, good young player from the Southern Districts Club. We, we must thank also Krystal Forgesson and Ryan Archibald for lending their names. And look, they're two significant, iconic players in Auckland, really. Ryan with 327 caps for his country, sitting all-time at number 2, and then we've got Krystal on 220 caps. So, we're stoked that Krystal and Ryan were happy to lend us their names.
Yeah, what was the process in getting their names on the shield? I mean, they were obviously more than happy to do that.
That was a phone call and a text and pestering by me. So look, we're really happy that they said yes, and I think we're definitely going to do this again. It's going to be an annual event. The clubs have benefited because the kids have been prepared, and now they're prepared for their premier season starting in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and of course the main sponsor for this event is Chester's Plumbing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in particular, it's owned by AKH Life member Grant Chester. And oh my gosh, hasn't he done a lot for Auckland Hockey?
Oh, he's done enormous amounts, not just for Auckland Hockey, for his club at Roscoe Eden, since the 1970s, and his dad before that. His brother Colin has helped as well, and then, I think he's done so much for the New Zealand game as well. A lot of the things he's done has gone unnoticed. Players have had employment in his firm that have shifted to Auckland. Just an all-round good guy, and he's just really done amazing things for our sport, and we're so lucky to have him. Yeah,
I mean, to put it on an event like this, especially in a really funny time that the whole world is in at the moment. We're
absolutely,
very lucky.
Grant has got a good sense of humour, and last year, the two of us would be comparing notes in the COVID weeks about how we're going financially, and my problems paled in comparison to his weekly problems. So, look, he runs a massive operation and done really well with the business both in New Zealand and Australia.
Yeah, that's nice. Now the Cavaliers are just still trying to work their way up this field, but it's just been turned over. The South East Auckland Storm working their way up, and on ball now.
Oh, here we go.
Is number 10, Dylan Muggleston.
Oh, it's a great goal.
That was Dylan Muggleston again, wasn't it?
No, he passed the ball to Shea Eswa, who scored. So now they've got the shootout to get another goal.
Nice, exciting. Yeah. Hey, well, so we haven't seen this yet. So who gets to take this? Is it Shea as well? Do they pass it on to?
No, it's on rotation, so they can choose the first person, and then off they go.
So putting their hand up to do it.
Shea Eswa.
Yep, that's right. Now we've got the replay of this now, and it's quite an amazing goal.
There he goes, around his keeper.
Too easy.
Yeah.
So now that puts them up.
3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Just like that.
So easy. Yeah. Now, the Central Auckland Cavaliers, they've got a bit of a task ahead.
Yeah.
Can they get up with, I suppose, 10 minutes left to play? Yeah. That's still plenty of time.
5 minutes to go in the quarter, I think.
Yeah. They've really got to assert themselves now and somehow either get that free hit in the circle and try and get a penalty corner, or that field goal where they then will get another chance and it could go 2-3, but they're still trying at the moment. Passing around the back, going to Josh Child. And again, they're almost turning it over. Punching up the field now.
There goes Daniel Easton.
So he's the runner, is that right?
Yeah, he's the one.
And that's turned over again. South East Auckland Storm will take the free hit.
What do you think of those retro shirts the umpires are in, Michelle?
The shirts look cool. I mean, and we have to thank the umpires for their time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well. 12 of them have given up their time, and Howard Mayer from the Auckland Umpires Association and Bruce Brownsey and Neil McCorkindale really helped us to make that element of today work properly.
Why the retro green?
Oh, I'm an Adidas fan. Yeah. Your mum and dad probably wore those shirts, Michelle, at some stage.
How were the umpires? Are they happy to be wearing them?
Yeah, they're stoked.
Yeah, nice. I suppose they're used to wearing all those bright colours and how are these guys out here? Do they get a bit of flack from the guys, the umpires? Do the umpires get a bit of flack from these guys?
Oh, look, I think this generation's pretty timid, to be honest. Yeah. But we're also, trying to educate them to be respectful and understand that while umpires make mistakes and players make, 3 times more in a game. Yeah. So, we never see that, do we? An umpire say at the end of a match when they're being harassed, hey, you missed a trap in the 64th minute.
No.
In the inside right channel. So.
Just again there, the South East Auckland Storm making themselves known that they're up there and ready to get some goals if they can. The Cavaliers just try again getting up that field. And so what was the process in getting these coaches involved as well?
They are generally premier coaches of club teams, Michelle. Yeah. So that was, quite an easy fit to get them coaching their cluster groups. And we've got some high calibre ones there, Clive Daniels won the Intercity Men's with Howick last year. Aaron Pencha just recently retired with, 287 caps with a lot of hockey knowledge. We've got Jimmy Grant this afternoon. Pretz Basodum taking the Central Cavaliers there is a former NHL player. So, look, we've got some really good people. And we're really lucky. Yeah, and we've good young ones as well. So this afternoon we'll see Vic Methvin join Chris Arthur, an accomplished coach, and Sandy Mackey, an accomplished coach, doing some coaching for us.
This is some really exciting hockey being played by the South East Auckland Storm. They're just creating opportunity after opportunity. Have they had much time to gel together?
They've had 4 sessions together, and Joe, without sort of spoon-feeding them, has said, look, we just want to see an attacking brand of hockey at this time of the year and to have a crack. So, we're finding that some younger players, when they're playing in their teams, play within their shells a bit. So we didn't want to see that, if possible.
Free hit now for the South East Auckland Storm. Number 4 on the ball, Brett Menzies. Going to 11, Max Rasmussen. And up that left-hand flank. Being patient.
Yeah, I think the other thing, Michelle, is the gap that existed with under-21 national tournament being removed. Sort of took away for this age group, something that they traditionally did and prepared for this time of the year. So having that fill up in the space has been a really good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a hard year, not only for our national hockey players, but these guys as well, because this is our next generation of Black
Absolutely,
Sticks.
Yeah. And you could have a situation if we have an interrupted season like last year and we don't have a national hockey championship that, this generation of kids goes 1, 2 years, even more without representative hockey. Yeah. So any window we can get is an opportunity, and we're lucky that we're back at level 1, eh?
Yeah. How do you guys find it, Auckland hockey? Is there a drop-off heading into that, what used to be NHL, now it's PHL? Is there a drop? And is it important to keep these guys involved?
Well, we haven't, because we didn't get to have NHC last year, we didn't get to, record the effect of those decisions.
Yeah.
But this year, I'm sure there's going to be some decisions made by young people as to, do I make myself available for NHC or do I just play in the Premier Hockey League if I played in that last year? So I'm sure those decisions will be made by the players, but we're hoping that events like this get them interested in playing for their province.
Yeah, totally. Because, I mean, if you come out on a day like this, we've got fans out here today, family, friends.
Yeah, it's really cool.
People coming to support and actually watch some live sport, because there's not a lot happening around the world at the moment.
No, not at all. I mean, I've got a friend, obviously Shane McLeod, who I coach with in Belgium at the moment, and I'm sort of in regular contact with him, and he's off on a camp every week with his Belgium team, but that's quite rare, that they've got that opportunity.
That was such a close shot from Shea Isway. Again, the South East Auckland Storm just showing that Well, they're here to play hockey, and they want to be scoring some goals.
Yeah, and they're just showing a bit more finesse in that top third, eh? I think the other team is still getting into that third, but probably not as effective in that last third.
Yeah. Again, they're
Here we
getting
go, James Stables on the ball.
James Stables still on the ball and passes it through into the circle. Just losing possession there. But they still have the free hit. They have another opportunity to get their way in.
James is a good young player from the Somerville club. You know, he was really fortunate a couple of years ago. He got to play in a club team with Barry Middleton, who will one day probably be Sir Barry Middleton, and loved that experience, and you know his game has benefited from that.
So that is the end of the first quarter. Now the South East Auckland Storm are up 3-0. Central Auckland Cavaliers are still yet to get their name on the scoreboard. And once again, we are here for the Under-23 Forgesson-Archibald Shield for 2021. And I'm here with Manoj Darji, the Chief Executive of Auckland Hockey. And gosh, what a first half we saw right there.
Yeah, lots of action, eh? Yeah. So if we can get...
I mean, 3 goals scored in the first quarter. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I think there's probably about 5 opportunities. So if we can get 20 in the match, or 30, we're... after that sort of product today, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so that first quarter was 15 minutes. Is that what we're looking at for the whole day today?
Whole day, yeah.
15-minute quarters. So now the Central Auckland Cavaliers have got to nut their way through. They've got to have a quick talk now to decide and make a bit of a plan as to how they can get on that scoreboard.
Yep, all 18 viewers complaining.
So looking at the Central Auckland Cavaliers team as well, we've got two captains for each side.
Yeah, Oliver Patterson is an old boy of King's College, and has spent some time in Capital, and he's played for the Auckland 21s. Working now, good young man, he's at the Somerville club. And Will Stables, also at the Somerville club, as I said, was the captain of the last team to win the 21s, the Capital team, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys will now miss out on that 21s tournament, missing out on their last year because of COVID?
Yeah, unfortunately, some did lose that opportunity, but we're hoping that some will get invited, some of these young men, to the 18Z HP Under-21 camp that's being held in April this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. A great opportunity for these guys to try and get their skills and make their way into that Black Sticks squad. And again, the second quarter is underway. Cavaliers with the ball. Daniel Easton, he's a good little player, eh?
Yeah, he's a good little player. He's nuggety and...
in the centre half for the Central Cavaliers. But it's again the South East and Auckland Storm with the ball, and can they make it up? They'll slip it down that right-hand flank, and they're still in possession. And they're in.
Oh, that's a great goal.
And that is an awesome goal. They've just managed to slip that right through the defence of the Central Auckland Cavaliers. We'll have a little look at that replay.
That was Alex Stenberg scoring that one.
Flicks it over. Was that quite a high flick? Heading into the circle, but no, they've managed to get it in.
There we go. Jaden Jasmine now on the one-on-one.
Oh,
yeah,
he's got it.
To get that.
That is awesome. That is just too easy now for the South East Auckland Storm. That puts them up 5-0. And he just... a little bit of a
pretty well constructed goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a little bit of defence from the goalie, and then deflected off his foot and into that goal. Oh, there's a bit of a break through that, but they just can't string those passes together at the moment.
No, just about
as far as I can pan around without
being made.
Yeah. They still have the ball, though, the Central Auckland Cavaliers.
Fair to say they've had about 50-50 split on the ball, but
crash ball in, but
that's what they're doing with it, right?
yeah. Would be quite interesting to see the stats of possession, and the South East Auckland Storm just seem to be holding that ball a little bit better and protecting it. Being a little bit patient to work their way up and not afraid to go back if they need to.
It's a good young defender over there on the left-hand side of the South Eastern Storm, Michelle.
Yeah.
Kieran Chiba, famous dad. Not always easy to follow in the footsteps of a dad who was a black stick,
Wow.
but he's coming on really well.
Yeah, it's funny. I was, having a chat to some other people in the hockey community, and it is a really nice, tight-knit bunch, isn't it? You've got
Absolutely.
parents who are black sticks, Masters players, and I think next week we've got the New Zealand Hockey Masters tournament, and you've just got heaps and heaps of
teams, yeah.
92
people. Teams going to Tauranga.
It's incredible.
13 from our province,
Yeah,
Auckland, so
nice.
we're very stoked about that.
Turnover again.
So it is a game for life, really.
Yeah.
For a lot of families.
It is really awesome to see that, there is hockey just doesn't have to stop for these guys when they're young. They can carry on. It can be a social thing where you can push yourself so far and
Absolutely.
and keep playing at that national or international level even for the Masters. South East Auckland Storm bringing it up into that attacking circle. Still on the ball.
That was Kieran Chiba, eh? Must have put the wood on him.
Yeah, man, you just keep telling us all the players who,
Yeah.
but gosh, you need to start talking about the Central Auckland Cavaliers so that then they can get a.
Yeah, here they go. Daniel Easton, Caleb Walter doing a good strong run with them.
Need to get some players
But
up
they
the
need to
field.
link up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't do it by himself. So
He's still on it though.
yeah, he's a strong player.
Yeah.
Jaden Daya, Nishan Patel.
If they can just hold it and work their way up,
Nishan Patel's got a famous uncle.
right?
So Deepak Patel, the cricketer.
Yeah.
That's his uncle. Yeah. So he's got relatives today watching in the UK
Oh, that's
on this
awesome.
live stream. So
Yeah.
shout out for Nishan, eh?
It is awesome that we're able to be, people must be looking at New Zealand right now and thinking, gosh, we are so lucky
Absolutely.
to have events that go ahead like this and, no limited restrictions. I mean, we've got to sign in and obviously be hygienic and that kind of thing, but we've really managed to stamp out this virus quite well. But again, South East Auckland Cavaliers working their way up, getting
here we
it
go.
into the circle.
It's a great save.
That is a great
Good save by Hamish Patel. Well done.
And we just see the replay here, working their way up the right and a bit of a foot, bit of a spill, and then it's managed to get to the top of that circle. But Hamish Patel, great save.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of improvement in Hamish. I remember seeing him as a young little boy being thrown in the goal
Yeah.
at the Indians Club, and now he's the premier goalkeeper for their side. So that was a really good save.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's just spilled out, and it's Daniel Easton again clearing it forward.
So the boy in the headgear for the Cavaliers, number 16, Michelle, Jaden Lyle, he has made a really resilient kid. He's made a comeback from a really bad head injury.
What school did he go to?
He went to St. Kennigan's.
Yes, I think I heard about
He
him.
had a really bad injury, and so look, he's recovered really well. He's at university now, so we're stoked for him, and great to see him playing back at a sort of representative level.
Yeah, that is incredible. I did hear about him. My sister's a teacher at St. Kennigan's, and she said it was, horrible. So it's incredible that he has been able to get himself back out there and playing such top-level hockey.
Yeah. Well, look, we've got another a boy, Tilo Seltner-Jones from the Western Club, and he suffered something similar while at Avondale College. And, both boys spent time in the brain unit, and it is just phenomenal recovery and, not easy to get your confidence back after that. Another shot.
And that's just been deflected again by Hamish Patel. Great save. But, yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen too often, though.
No, that's a good thing. But, it'd be fair to say that there will be a point in time where the FIH maybe looks at certain rules to limit the reverse slip shot.
This ball is It's a hard ball. I mean, it's not like it's some soft thing.
Well, it's changed. It's changed over years. So I remember when I first started, and my dad and even myself, we played with the balls then were similar to cricket balls, without a seam, without a raised seam, called the older Victor, and it was a bit softer. But you know, this ball is like a hard golf ball, so you can imagine how much it hurts.
Well, the South East Auckland Storm working their way up again. They're stringing those passes together so well and into the circle. But the Central Auckland Cavaliers have managed to get that back.
Kesha Naso on the ball there. Good young player out of St Kentigern College in his second year out.
Nice. They're stringing it up, that left-hand flank. Nice passing back.
Talking about the balls being really, you know, composed a bit of much harder composition today. Chan Chiba actually in a game, I remember him on a grass field. The last minute of the game, he a bit wet, took a 16 and he hit it at our inside right. It was New Zealand captain Peter Dargy. And we thought nothing of it. Peter sort of went down in a heap and he got back up. And we were in the changing rooms after the match, and Peter turned around and looked at us, and we saw that his face was out here. So it was crazy. He had a broken jaw and had to have some surgery to sort of fix that up.
Yeah, I remember one of my coaches when I was younger saying, to protect yourself, no space, no time. Get yourself as close to the ball, and then you're protecting yourself. The further you are away from the ball, the more risk you have of,
that's good advice, especially on the reverse stick hitting that people are doing these days. So it's close in on the hip.
Yeah, being fearless and getting your stick to it, getting in close, because when that ball gets away, it really flies.
Yeah, I think the unfortunate thing that happened with both Jaden and Tilo was it was a deflected type of ball.
Yeah.
So, pretty hard to react in close spaces.
And it all is happening so quickly as well that, there is no time to react. South East Auckland take the free hit and they're working their way. And again, nice passing shot at goal.
Oh, that's a good goal.
Another goal for the South East Auckland Storm.
There's Brett Menzies.
Brett Menzies takes that. Nice and easy. He was just waiting there, waiting for that pass at the top. And once he got it, space, time, shot. Too easy
and
goal.
now a shootout.
Another shootout.
I'm losing track now. What's the score, Michelle?
So it's 5-0 with less than 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Can they make it 6?
No, that's a great save.
Yeah. Hamish Patel. Again, another
well
save.
Well done, Hamish.
So less than 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. The South East Auckland Storm are up 6-0. And the Cavaliers, well, they're still trying to get on the board.
Yeah, they're trying to get on the board, and I think they have improved a little bit in the last last passage of play. Just let themselves down with a few, just a bit of sloppiness on the last pass.
Yeah, they're starting to string some more passes together, so maybe that's something that they're, more game time, more comfortable with each other out there. But they've got to do something just to try and get up there and put a little bit of pressure on their defence.
Yeah, and a little bit of scoreboard.
Yeah, we love goals in hockey.
Would be good. It would give us a bit of, give them a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
To know that we can do this. The good thing is they haven't retreated back too much, so they're still trying to keep some height in the game, and therefore have an attacking mindset.
Nice little touch there from the South East Auckland Storm. But
so I've got some good co-commentators lined up for you today.
Yeah, you do.
Michelle.
Tell me a little bit about all of these people that I'll be...
In the next game, we've got Aaron Pencha.
Yeah.
So, recently retired. So I'm sure he's going to tell you about what he did in the summer that had nothing to do with hockey.
I know.
Yeah. 14 years.
It is incredible.
Of a hockey roller coaster, yeah.
You guys must be pretty proud, though, having incredible black sticks coming out of Auckland hockey.
Yeah, look, always proud, and he's a homegrown guy, as with most of our Black Sticks. And the other thing is, I know his Indian community and his family will be super proud of him for what he's achieved in captaining this country.
Ball in. No touch to it though.
Yes, Aaron's next up on the next game, and then in the game after that, which is back to a men's game, we've got Chris Arthur, who's head of athlete life at High Performance Sport New Zealand, former Black Sticks captain. So she's going to add some insights. And Sandy Mackey, who works for us, but was a 1984 Los Angeles Olympian.
Yes, it's
so
incredible. It's very cool to see and learn about these names as well, because I mean they happened before these guys were born, and also
absolutely.
before I was born.
Yeah.
But you learn so much history about a sport that we all love.
Yep. Oh, look, that's been part of us resurrecting the honours boards and updating them.
Yeah.
We just got our New Zealand reps one up yesterday, actually. So, it's got a good record there. And our next step is to do an Auckland representative honours board that shows some serious history. 118 years we've been around. So, there's been some great players.
And we have a penalty corner. First penalty
There we
corner for
go.
the match for the Central Auckland Cavaliers. Oh, they need to get in that huddle now and decide on what combination, what they're going to do. Will they look for that straight shot? Have they got any good drag flickers in their team?
They've got a couple of options there. I'll be looking, I think it could be a variation there, or maybe Ollie Patterson's going to have a crack.
So we've got Daniel Easton, who will be dragging out for them, and one bracket at the top.
Yeah, Will Stables on the trap, and Ollie Patterson looking to strike or play a variation.
Ollie Patterson takes the hit. Oh, it's too high.
It's far too high. It's 3 points in rugby, though.
Yeah. So that first shot at goal in the penalty corner needs to be hitting that backboard, below the blackboard, unless it is a drag flick, then you can go higher. But it was too high for that shot.
Yeah, so look, after Chris and Sandy, Michelle, we've got
The great man.
the great man, who's been a big part of getting today in place. So
Yeah.
Joe Hanks.
Yes, awesome.
And I'm sure you'll enjoy a conversation with Joe.
Yes, Joe's actually my club hockey coach.
He's your club hockey coach.
Yes, so
Geez, I'll have to ask you a few questions
Yeah.
about him. Yeah.
I've got to be careful
Yeah.
about what I question him about
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
But yeah, so Joe's done a lot, hey, in getting this all up and running.
Yeah, look, he's a selfless individual who, last year during COVID, very few people will know this, but he stood down from his full-time role with us and went to Teachers College to really allow us, take some pressure off us financially. But at the same time, he carried on doing all of his responsibilities. So he runs our Regional Performance Centre. He's the head coach of that, which we're making good strides in. And he's put this event together, and then he's got a Nines event coming up, supported by the Auckland Council in the April holidays. So Joe's a busy man, and on top of that, of course, he played really well in the
Premier Hockey League. He's made the highlights real
He made
quiet.
the highlights, yeah, I noticed the other day. I haven't told him that I saw him on the highlights. I don't want his head to get too big.
No,
So,
don't tell him. But
yeah.
he, and I mean, that is just great. When you see goals scored like that, the celebration and what it means, it's pretty cool. But I think we're winding down to the last few plays of this first half.
Yeah, I must say that team of yours 2 years ago that got to the intercity final, it was fantastic to see the smiles on the girls' faces at the presentation ceremony.
Well, I mean, that's the awesome thing about, I suppose, this Auckland club hockey competition as well, is that you can't write off any team.
Yeah,
and
it was fantastic.
That Roskell Eden team that we put to the field, we had no Black Sticks playing for us. Pippa Hayward occasionally would play, but we managed to make it to the final, and we weren't able to beat Somerville, but we put up a good fight.
No, I think you did really well. You gained their respect on that day, and I think the smiles on the faces of the girls said it all at the end of the match.
Yeah. And that's what you want, especially today. I mean, like these guys, they need to be playing hockey. They have to keep playing. If a lot of them will be having aspirations to break into the Black Sticks program, and without hockey, you can't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going back to Joe, I think he's got a massive future in the game. Obviously, you have him on a sort of weekly basis in the winter, but he's just got the right manner with the kids and the girls, and so I think, you know, he's got a big future there.
So that's the end of the first half. The South East Auckland Storm are up 6-0. The Central Auckland Cavaliers, well, they've got to find their way back into this match in the second half, but it could be a game of two halves that we're looking at here. They may be able to, after this break, come up with some magic.
Oh, look, it's the heat has sort of dissipated a bit, so that could be a little bit of a factor. It'll be interesting to see how they respond.
Oh man, that really came around.
And just recapping on those teams that we have taken to the field today, we've got the Southeastern Storm, who are up 6-0, and that number 78, Regan Harnell, 2, Kieran Chiba, 3, Stuart Pearson, 4, Brett Menzies, 5, Mansimrit Singh, 6, Manrajit Singh Gill, 7, Sahib Singh, 8, Luke Holmes, 9, Shay Iswa, 10, Dylan Muggleston, 11, Max Rasmussen, 12, Liam Smith, 14, Luca Clark, 18, Jacob Ambrose, 19, Alex Stenberg, 15, Jaden Jasmine, and the coaches, Clive Daniels, coach Aaron Pencha and Ben Wu. Now if we look at these Central Auckland Cavaliers, number 1 is Hamish Patel. We saw some great saves from him in that first half. 2, Nishan Patel, 3, Jaden Daya, 4, Caleb Walter, 5, Daniel Easton, 8, Jaden Dosha, 9, Sam Grenfell, 10, Prashant Patel, 12, James Stable, 13, Josh Child, 14, Kishan Nasai, 16, Jaden Lull, 17, Ronak Mystery, 18, Ollie Patterson, 19, Braden Jerem, 20, Will Stables, and in that coach's box we've got Pratish Parsatam, Blaze Montero and Salish Patel. Now the guys are taking the field. these Central Auckland Cavaliers. They're putting up a good fight, but it's still 6-0 on the scoreboard. So they've got a bit of a way to try and get back, but it's all being made possible thanks to this bonus point that we've got here going today. When they get a field goal, they then have another opportunity to get on the scoreboard and have a one-on-one penalty with the goalkeeper. So a bit more of that, please. And then hopefully we have a bit of a nail-biter on our hands. Now it's the Storm who will be taking the first hit of the second half. And slowly up the field they go. But it's an early turnover. And almost they were about to get it back. Now, I was just saying, the Cavs have a bit of a way to go. 6-0, but it's all been made possible thanks to this bonus point that you guys have got going.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's just a one-on-one with the goalie?
Just a one-on-one?
Bit of a...
Straight after a field goal.
Yep. So we just need a couple more of those, and then we've got a bit of a...
Ooh.
So close there. We could have been seeing another one there in that attacking circle for the Southeast Auckland Storm.
So we've got we talked about famous families, sporting families, Michelle. We've got a young man out there, Braden Jerem, and the Central Cavaliers, whose dad, Richard, played rugby for the Waikato.
Awesome.
And was a top player in the Ranfurly Shield reign.
Yeah.
And his mum is former Silver Fern Karen Topping.
Wow.
Yeah, who's actually captain the Silver Ferns at one stage.
He's got all the genes, doesn't he?
He's got all the genes, yeah. And his sister is at the Blues as a nutritionist.
That is awesome.
And she did some great work with them last year, as you saw with their performances and the way they were looking.
That is awesome. That is great stuff. It's just great to see that these sporting genes, you know, we get them in hockey, even though the parents are in netball, rugby.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
They come into the Auckland hockey circle, so it is great stuff. Now on ball is the Auckland Storm, making their way up. That's the Cavs who will have possession. Let's see if they can be quite patient through the back. Number 18, Ollie Patterson's going to work his way.
That's a pretty impressive afro out there, number 14. What do you think of that one, Michelle?
Let's have a little...
It's
yeah, I mean, it is...
a young man from Northland.
That Luca
Clark, who's filling in today. He's been our best performed kid in our regional performance group.
Yeah.
And so we gave him a little opportunity to step up. He's still in the 7th form at St. Kennigan's.
If only height was a thing, it gives him a little bit more...
Here we go, Luke Holmes.
Oh, that was close. That could have been a nice little touch.
Yeah, it could have been a nice touch over the top.
Past the goalie. We haven't seen much of the aerial game.
No, we haven't.
Much, and normally what we are starting to see lots from the men's hockey.
These guys have started a little bit better, haven't they?
Yeah. They're making their way up. They've had a few more circle penetrations up into the attacking quarter. It's just trying to get that last touch for them. If they can just keep it here, and they do, they've got the turnover, keeping it in their attacking half.
Yeah, look, I think that historical stuff that we touched on before about players knowing who's, been in Auckland hockey, what they've done, they're really important sort of messages for us to give to our young group. Because often they just don't know. They'll walk into a stadium and they'll walk past someone who has contributed a significant amount. We're very fortunate in the last 2 weeks. We've had Chris Arthur do some High Performance Sport New Zealand athlete life material with our regional performance group, and they were lucky. They had 2 former Black Sticks, Mandy Barker and Anna Lawrence, come and talk to them. So, really, really lucky that we have these good people in our community. And
that's Mandy, who used to be known as Mandy Smith,
yeah.
but obviously she is married to Dean Barker, American Magic helmsman for the America's Cup.
Yeah, she tells me she's doing her best to get her
kids to play
two
hockey?
of the kids are in hockey, but trying to get all 4 of them into hockey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And is the commercial manager at New Zealand Cricket, doing
that's
great
awesome.
things. Yeah, I'm sure she would have been wrapped with the full house at the T20s.
Yes, that has been awesome, having cricket back up and running, sport in general just back up and running here in New Zealand. It's pretty amazing stuff, and for us to be leading not only hockey as well, leading the country, but also leading the world.
At the back there.
And the Storm.
Gosh, she's lucky. Hamish has done well there. Josh Child just threw a little loose pass infield.
The Cavs can now. Well, they're very lucky that the scoreboard hasn't been more, because the Storm have been putting it to them today. They've been asking questions of their defence, and 6-0 after the first half. That is a very high score. Storm working it into the
well,
circle
again.
there. And it's loose.
Oh, yeah.
We look at the penalty corner.
Isn't it good to see the defenders up there, Michelle?
Yeah.
Do you do that in your club games?
I normally get thrown up as I like to see myself as being a striker, working my way into the circle. I've put a pitch forward for me to try and play some defence this year.
Follow the guy, follow the ball.
I'll push my case when I'm talking to Joe later on today.
Okay, copy.
Yeah, look.
But it's good to be in the action, and it's what I find sometimes is when you're a striker, you're sometimes waiting for that ball, but it's up to the striker, I suppose, to be fit and hungry and trying to
whip across.
I think what was good about that was Kieran, as a defender, just didn't hold back and saw some space and took the player on. So more of that would be good. Dylan Mugglestone now, second time I'm going to see him flick. Oh, Luke Holmes is also at the battery. And it's Dylan again. Well, that's
defended.
That running is
it's fast.
Impressive, eh?
Yeah, he's struggled to be able to get those drag flicks away. We saw in the first quarter, but second time was the charm for him. They do have a free hit. The Storm, they can work their way back
It's such an important part of the modern game, the defending of the way we run out, Michelle. Yeah. I had an experience a long time ago with a guy called Michael Green, who was he's the Olympic doctor now.
Yeah.
FIH's Olympic doctor. Michael Green was a German player, and there was a saying in Germany: "No green, no gold."
Right.
And I never really understood what that meant until I went on a scouting trip for Kevin Towns to Holland and Germany, and I was watching some games and managed to talk to Michael, who spoke really good English, because I couldn't speak German.
Yeah.
And he explained to me in a game, the Dutch had a great flicker, and they scored 2 goals in this game, and the score was 2-0. And he said to me afterwards, he said, those were both my running mistakes.
Right.
So really technical aspect of the game, but a crucial part of the game.
Totally. You see it a lot when you go away on tournaments or with teams, and that defensive penalty, being your defensive game in the penalty corner is huge, and being able to push the ball out wide, being able to block them like we've been seeing from the Cavs, and just break down. Here we go, goal!
Oh, yeah.
I think that was the last touch there from Jaden Jasmine. He's helping the goalie up. Good boy.
I had all that.
Some good work there from Brett Menzies, and a little tap in from Jaden Jasmine.
So we see here we're breaking
It's a shame
it down.
that sort of against the momentum of the white team, how they'd come out in this quarter.
Great for the Storm. Yeah, we're
I
seeing.
don't know who got it, but
Now we've got Luke
Cavs.
Holmes on the one-on-one. It's good how the rotation is happening.
You don't want to.
Not the same guy all the time. Good old Hamish, he's saved one, he's missed one.
He's got the goalie
Up.
down.
Oh no, great goal.
Nice. Hamish Patel just needed to probably stay on his feet then, just so that he had a bit of a chance to.
Bit of a bummer that one, right on the hooter, eh?
Yeah.
Of the quarter.
Yeah. So they now see themselves. The Cavs.
Oh no, it wasn't the quarter, it was
the penalty timer.
it was the penalty timer.
Yep. So now 8-0 is the score. Jeepers, this is the highest scoring hockey game I've ever seen. It's making it a really uphill battle for the Cavs, but still they're just plugging away. Kesha Nasai there, just trying to keep himself on that ball. And again, Nasai will have the ball and he's looking to try and make his way into the circle. They've just got to, because I mean, the circle just gets so congested, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think there, I mean, the classic example, just got a bit impatient, and if they just a little bit more composure, could have put the ball onto a foot. They got themselves into a good position, but just couldn't execute that last bit.
Nice talk. You can hear the talk out there, and that's what you need. Lots of communication out on the field to make sure this pressing game, this defensive game from the Cavs, they can try and keep the Storm just passing around the back. But the Storm are going to punch forward. Still turnover. That's what they needed. That's just Daniel Easton there on the ball. He's got the free hit. He gets the pass away, and before you know it, they're up the next flank. And making some good gains up the field. Free hit again for the Cavs. Can they do it? And that free hit's just outside. A little bit of momentum now. Maybe they had a look at a quick look.
Those last little pieces in the circle, right?
Yeah.
People committed and diving and all.
And that's
There's
a penalty corner. That's great.
So their second corner.
That was great defence, though. I think who was that? Liam Smith. I mean, he was great low in the tackle and just a bit unfortunate to get the free hit. But
Liam's also from a good hockey stock. So I played with his dad in the 21s many years ago.
Jeepers.
And his dad is known as a bit of a hitman in Auckland hockey.
Really?
Yeah.
A hitman how?
Well, don't really want to be around him.
Yeah.
If you're in the opposition. Yeah.
Right, he gets the strike away and scores goals.
Yeah, he did score some good goals. Bit of a hard man.
All right, the Cavs, another chance. Penalty corner.
Come on, Cavs, let's see if we can score here. Oh, no. Didn't execute the
trap. Come on.
Good boy, Keshan. That's a good trap. And a good setup. Yeah, really good. Well done. Good recovery.
It's a good result.
Yeah.
I mean, when the penalty corner breaks down, the last thing you want to see is it going all the way to the other end of the field. It managed to keep possession and also get another penalty corner. So let's try again.
It's Josh Child's a tall player, isn't he?
Yeah, is that
probably one of the tallest players in our competition, I think.
Josh Child, number 13. He's the one. We need him to trap this ball.
Oh no, he's missed it again. It's a good pass though. Here we go.
Nice clear shot.
Good shot here. He had a clear shot. Keshan's done well.
Oh.
Jeez.
Gee, they were unlucky to get another penalty corner from that, I thought, but
yeah, look, Sam Grenfell was just a bit hesitant on that open shot that you saw.
Yeah, just the ball maybe got a little bit too far away from him.
Away from him.
But they still have that position.
Get it in.
They can get it in.
Here we go. Oh,
gee.
Another corner.
Nice. Another penalty corner from the Central Auckland Cavaliers. They need to execute this. They need a good drag out, good trap, shot at goal, whatever. Get it in the goal. Let's go, boys. But yeah, he is a tall boy, this Josh Child.
Yep. As we said, famous sporting family from up north. His Uncle Murray was a famous cricketer for the Northern Districts team.
Wow. Daniel Easton dragging out. Nice
That's
trap.
a better trap. And back onto the foot.
Another penalty, please.
Another penalty corner.
That is good. Are we going to see a variation? They're going to keep trying to go for that straight shot?
It's just
they've got the one bracket. So can you talk us through sometimes we see two brackets, sometimes we see one bracket.
Yeah, look, I think two brackets sometimes can cause a little bit of indecision by the guys running out, and always a good thing to do, even if you haven't got a good second bracket, just to have that one to keep some doubt.
Yeah. Another missed trap there.
Here's a shot.
Come on.
Oh, no.
Not.
No,
Yeah.
he's missed that.
Unfortunately, just these little mistakes are putting them on
really
the back
costing
foot. And yeah, it is. It's costing them.
On the scoreboard.
Because you can't
That was a
say
good open shot, wasn't it?
It was. He had space, but you can't say that the Cavs haven't had their opportunities. Those penalty corners, they've been working them. It's just that final shot. But the Storm now with possession are going to work their way out, get the free hit, and they can start to reset a bit.
Yeah, just in the last sort of patch, I think they're losing their confidence a bit in their body language. Cavs like doing well to force the corners, but...
And they're doing well, I suppose, to actually get some possession, but gosh, that's a nice little touch there.
on the ball. Good clean up by Josh.
Good spatial awareness.
Well done by Will Stables to his brother.
Just like that, we see a
turnover.
turnover.
Nice good boy, Jaden. Well done.
Can he get the shot away? Oh.
Just that finesse, that last piece.
It's quite amazing in hockey. The ball just is able to travel quite quickly from one end to the other. Now we see the Storm have their chance. Number 14.
Luca Clark, the young player.
Oh, that was that was an open goal.
Open goals.
Hamish Patel, you are a lucky man. But the Storm working their way up again. Nice little turnover.
So Hamish has done pretty well considering the pressure he's put under today.
And as a goalie, you want that because you can have some really boring matches just sitting in the goal if you've got, balls up the field, other end of the field. And it's been pretty good contest for both goalies at both ends. They've had
well, there you go, an interception by Luke Holmes, number 8. Tried to play a 1-2 there. Oh no, that's loose. Sahib Singh's got the ball back.
Turnover ball.
And good tackle. Bit of a shepherd. Some exciting female talent in our stocks in the next game, Michelle.
Yeah, I am looking
Katie
forward.
Dawes playing and Maddie Dawes playing.
That is awesome.
Phoebe Steele's playing.
You've also got Black Sticks players in that. Oh, another
That's
goal.
That's a good goal.
Number 14,
That's a young player.
Luca Clark.
Well done. He's made amends for that open goal.
Little look at how he was able to do that here in the replay. He's got the ball here, dribbling it. God, just going.
There we go. He's on
going past each player
now as well.
Gets it in the goal. Let's get him up for another one.
Are we up to 9? Are we?
We are up to 8. If he can get this in, 9-0 for the Storms.
He gets to go for another goal.
Into the last quarter. Young man.
The key is to move the goalie in this, hey?
Oh, he's done well.
Great skill. Great skill.
Great skill, Luca Clark.
Luca Clark, he's just got a double for himself there, and what a way to end the third quarter. So, yep, they see themselves, the South East Auckland Storm, up 9-0. And, sorry story for the Central Auckland Cavaliers.
What would have been the score without Joe's bonus?
I'm not the best at maths. Not the best at maths. What would it have been?
There's only one penalty corner goal, isn't there?
Yeah, 9.
So 8, 4, 5-0.
5-0.
Yeah.
Still a really high-scoring game and pretty awesome to see that many goals happening in a match.
Yeah, that's cool.
But come on, we just need Central Auckland to get on the board. I really want to see them. They've had these great opportunities of penalty corners and working it up. But I mean, this is just hockey, and you're going to see the South East Auckland Storm. They look like they're going to really push themselves for the title of this, aren't they? The
I think so on the boys' side. On the men's side, sorry.
But yeah, so after this match, we've got women's teams who we were just saying earlier. We've got Black Sticks even playing in this tournament.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think
from that under 23 level.
Yeah, so for Maddie and Katie, Izzy Gill, who's a performance center player, and Phoebe Steele, who's just played in the PHL. For those sorts of players to play, it's just a great great thing to be able to play with your friends, yeah?
Yeah, it's awesome being able to step up to that PHL level and then bring those skills back to this under 23. And, you know, you're going to have young players all looking up to the likes of Maddie Dorr, Phoebe Steele and all of them and being like, gosh, I want to play like them. This is the pathway.
They are both, the Dorr sisters are amazing young coaches, Michelle. So whenever we run something and I have them come along, the kids that come to the camps love them. In fact, there's one little boy out in Howick, a 5-year-old boy who always asks, is Maddie here?
Oh, that's sweet.
So,
it's important to have these role models in your clubs. And,
cool.
you know, these big names that obviously on the Shield today, Krystal, Forgesson and Ryan Archibald, they are the big black stick names, but then awesome that we have another tier of players coming through and names that are eventually going to be big names like...
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the ones on the cup that they're playing for. So the Cavs heading into the final quarter, it's 10-0. 10-0 down. So they have a bit of a mountain to climb and... Josh Child's taken a tumble and turned over the ball.
Turned over.
And the Southeastern Storm. They've got no
Good
reason.
young player, Stu Pearson, in the middle there of the Storm.
Nice roll and turn and making himself known in that centre of the field.
Carpenter builder by day. Pretty unusual in this generation. Really good to see him. He's been playing really well.
And it's good to see them still play hockey because, I mean, when you do get jobs, it's hard to jump on the turf, I suppose, head to trainings after work and but it's important for them to be playing because they've got that work-life balance. But again, they're in the circle.
Good movement.
Nice passing.
And
just like that. They, I mean, probably strung 4 passes and it's in the circle and then as easy as that, they're able to get the penalty corner. So, the Southeast Auckland Storm up 10-0. They're looking to push that even further with a penalty corner here now.
I think one of the reasons for Joe putting that extra innovation in was also shootouts.
Yep.
So, you know, traditionally we're not so great as a province or as a country at our shootouts. So the more times we can experience it under pressure
that is true.
of a game, it's going to make us better at that skill.
And what a great drag click that was.
Munrad Singh.
Pretty sure I did.
Munrad
Pretty
Singh,
quick,
nice. You haven't seen him do the drag click at all this game. It was a bit of a secret weapon. Drags out to him at the top.
Yeah, he's in his, he's starting university, I think, next week. It's just his first year out of school.
Did I get it?
I think, yeah, that's an awesome drag click. Nice for them to have that kind of variation skill in the circle, because sometimes that can be the difference in being selected for a team or not as well.
Yeah.
As if you've got that PC variation. A guy who can drag click over a guy who can't. You want the guy who can
have that extra skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking at...
and I think the game's also
quite a long game, isn't it?
In terms of we're looking for more all-round players now that can attack and defend.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You're starting to see halves attack up the field, you know, make their way up those flanks and almost look like they're strikers, midfielders.
Yep.
But it's just, I suppose, adds to that excitement of and confusion as well for the defending team with a player all the way up there and scoring goals.
Yeah, those days of going along when you're a junior and saying I'm a fullback or I'm a right winger or left winger, centre forward.
But they've also missed one of those free goals, remember?
Really? Yeah. You need to be able to do it all.
The goalie stopped one of them.
The Southeastern Storm.
Might have.
Just Patterson there.
Oh,
good
that
recovery.
Was great. He mistrapped that, but managed to keep it in. Brett Menzies on the ball.
Definitely saved one.
Taking that free hit quickly. The guy's got to be 5. And he goes again.
That's a
good little pop through there. But
So
not
Brett's
enough.
dad is the current goalkeeper coach for the New Zealand women's basketball team.
Yes, that's correct, Jude. So yeah, we've got lots of names out here of past hockey players or sports players in and around the country. Their children are playing in this tournament today and doing really well. Central Auckland Cavaliers back with possession.
Josh Child.
Slowly working his way out.
Patterson.
Looking for that crash ball. They get the deflection, they'll take the free hit from that. But that, I mean, thinking, you know, a bit of hidden hope at the moment from these Cavs. 11-0 to the Southeastern Storm, and the Cavs are looking to try and see if they can get another goal.
I'd love to see them score a goal.
I'd love to as well. They're putting up a really good fight.
Here's an opportunity. Ollie Patterson.
Tried to get that quick shot away. Probably had a bit more time.
He had a lot more time, didn't he?
than he expected.
No one around him.
No.
Lots to nothing.
Hopefully, you know, this game has just been a bit of a washing the cobwebs off for them as a team.
And I'm sure in the second game they'll come out and
try
be stronger.
You know, once you score a goal as a team and you get those touches together, I think, you know, you open a door and the floodgates, hopefully, you know, as we've seen with the Southeast Auckland Storm, is that goals then start to come.
Jaden Gosha, Braden Jerem here. Ooh, that's good work.
Good defence here. But they need to stay in at the Cavs. They can turn this ball over and have another shot at goal. And that's just such nice skill, such nice tight skill. Yeah. The Cavs are able to keep the possession. That wasn't 5
good
from
shot if it does, though.
The Southeastern Storm, number 4, Brett Menzies. He's been sent off for not being 5.
Here we go.
They're down a player, so can the Cavaliers capitalise? But the Storm, they've managed to get possession even with a player down. In.
Jacob Amrose loses the ball. Caleb Walter on it. Oh, he's lost it as well.
Lots of turnovers here.
There's a few turnovers here.
I think
Stu Pearson, he's come good. He's strong on the ball.
The Cavs now
intercept by Nishan.
Just need to keep that possession. They're up a player. If they can just utilise that.
So do you think the Olympics will happen, Michelle?
Well, I'm hopeful, Jude.
Yeah?
I'm sorry, Manoj. I'm really hopeful. But I just don't see, with the way of the world at the moment, how it can go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, look, I, with glass half full I'm thinking maybe it will happen, but it might have no spectators.
Yeah.
And I would hate to see it not happen for, you know, all of those athletes who
are still training.
They had this other team, they just can't score.
To the event.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I think one that really comes down to the wire of whether the NZOC will send a team over, the international committee as well, deciding whether they can and will all athletes need to be vaccinated as another thing.
Yeah,
there's just so many things that are going to be coming into play.
Yeah.
And I think yesterday the news of the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, I saw that on your program.
Yes, on One News. The Tall Blacks have had to pull out of their Olympic bid because it's too expensive for them to qualify. And then
$750,000.
Yeah, and then if the event doesn't even go ahead, well, you lost the money. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard for this round of Black Sticks because there were so many who were meant to be making their Olympic debuts. And I think if the Olympics doesn't go ahead, you're going to see a big group of people who were the Olympians that never were, almost, you know. So it'll be an interesting couple of months. Any of these young guys pushing named for selection?
Max Rasmussen at the back here and Shea Iswa is also playing at the back, are both in the Performance Centre network.
Nice.
And then Regan Harnell, I'm putting money on him for the next one. So Paris or LA.
Yeah, well, this is what we have to remember is these guys are the next tier coming through, and get to know their names because they're going to be scoring goals for our Black Sticks in 4 or 5 years' time.
Had a lot to do with Regan as a young boy, so he was a soccer player, and we needed a goalkeeper for our Hatch Cup team. So his friends brought him along, and he's taken like a duck to water to goalkeeping. And you can see now he's got all the attributes, but more importantly, good balance in his life and really good aptitude. He's getting better and better and better. So I'll give him to 2028 or 2032.
Yeah. So the Cavaliers have another chance of finally, please get on the scoreboard and try and just
change their stopper now. So James Stables is going to have a crack, and I see Josh Troll trying to run in from the left. Maybe it's a
deflection.
Look at him; he's amping to run. He is too.
Yeah.
Nice. Jeez.
Come on, can they get it through?
Oh no!
Just left of the post. Yeah. They have the players in there and the skills to be able to get those deflections in, but they're just not really being able to connect.
It's that execution in the top part of the circle. The other team has done really well today.
Yeah.
Compared, and therefore they can convert all their chances that they've had.
And so, Manoj, for Auckland hockey, I mean, are you guys able to do, cross-bridge, matches against Harbour as well? Does that happen often?
Look, in our normal, in the old NHL build-up and the NHC build-up, and then 18s, 15s and 13s, in a normal rep season, we absolutely have games in our build-ups to our tournaments.
But I suppose you guys are also so lucky that, in this Auckland setup, you've got so many players here. Hey.
Yeah, so we're lucky with the clubs, right? Number of clubs, so it's a bit of an advantage that we have, and to be able to do these sorts of things and have clusters and play. I think it is the way of the future for us.
Yeah.
From a young age is to cluster the players, give everyone an opportunity.
Totally, because
and make it way more inclusive as opposed to the old days, where it was a little bit, exclusive.
Yeah. Otherwise, players miss out, and you never know. It takes a couple of years for them to get their skill, and they're, leading competitions and stuff. So you don't want to miss out on anyone. So the South East Auckland Storm penalty corner here.
I tell a lot of people about.
And that is a beautiful.
Manraj Singh again.
Manraj Singh,
again,
another goal for him.
A lot of whipping.
Putting the South East Auckland Storm up to 12-0 against the Central Auckland Cavaliers, and it's a beautiful flick into the left corner.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
It is great. We saw him just before. He scored the last goal, another flick, and here he is again. Putting them up to a really hefty score in the final quarter. With less than 5 minutes to play, the Cavaliers, they've got to come up with something incredible if they want to try and at least put something on the board. But
still in Mugglestone.
The Southeastern Storm, they're wanting to play quick and they're wanting to play fast. Trying to get it up the field. There we go, he's flicked out wide.
No, I think the best story I've ever seen is young Lloyd Stevenson from, Ngatia. The Thames Valley. He didn't pick up a hockey stick till very late, and at 18 played for the Black Sticks.
That is incredible.
That's pretty good, right?
You just can't count people, and some people peak at different times in their life as well. I think, I younger was watching Shiloh Gloying come up through the ranks, and for years and years she was working her way in that Midlands circle, and it took a while before Black Stick selectors really took interest in her.
Yep.
And she ended up being a part of that Commonwealth Games gold medal winning team. So, if you stick around and you plug away, you put in the hard work, and you will get noticed.
Yeah, you'll get noticed.
Here we go, the Cavs, and Again, just...
Jeez, they've done well to work their way out of that.
Yeah. As we count down the final minutes, can the Storm get another goal?
Oh, that's a big kick that out. Good boy. Well done, Hamish.
Hamish Patel has been although the scoreboard says 12-0, he has been an incredible goalie for the Auckland Cavaliers today. The icing on the cake, though, would just be for them to try and get a goal on that scoreboard.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes or so to go.
2.5 minutes left on the clock, and
James Stables.
They've got the possession and they've got the free hit. Can they ask some questions of this Storm defence? Oh, and that was a nice little,
there we go, Jaden Dyer.
Nice little touch, but must have caught the foot. The Storm could just try and play some passing hockey now. They don't really need to score anymore.
They're trying to score more, yeah. It's like that pick-up basketball game against your friends, isn't it? Showing you when you're thrashing them, you want to keep the foot on the throat, I suppose.
Yeah, you do. Everyone loves scoring goals, so they'll keep trying. They've got nothing really to lose, have they? But the Cavs, they've got to try and make themselves a little bit fearful for other teams who are competing.
You were right in saying that it hasn't been as one-sided as the scoreboard, because they wouldn't have had as much position and they wouldn't have created as many penalty corner opportunities.
It's just been the Storm who have been able to be a bit more clinical. But here we go, the Cavs, they've got an opportunity.
Sam Grenfell on the ball from University, or Somerville Club. No, he's actually moved to University, sorry.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys do move around in the club system, don't they?
Yeah, look, for various reasons, some of them will move.
Last minute of the game. Can the Cavaliers get on the scoreboard? They've just got to keep the pressure. The Storm, they've got the flair and a bit of the finesse.
It's Alex Stenberg now, number 19. He might run out of time, though.
Can he just get it in the circle?
Gets a pass away. And Luca Clark, the young fella.
Nice shot at goal.
And
Hamish Patel.
Hamish.
Great save.
He's the man of the match for me on Cavs.
Yep. He has done really well despite the scoreboard. Counting down the last few seconds of the game.
I'm going to stick my neck out with that Southeastern Storm team, Michelle. And
you think they're going to take the competition?
Yeah, I'm going to say that for me, Stu Pearson in the middle of the field was my pick today.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so that's the final score in the first match, 12-0. The Southeast Auckland Storm have absolutely, on the score sheet, thrashed the Central Auckland Cavaliers. And wow, if I was on any of the other teams, I'd be looking a little bit worried right now. And
yeah, I'm sure the Western Wanderers will be a little bit worried about facing the Storm. But hey, the next game also gives an opportunity for the Cavs to get some points on the board against the Wanderers this afternoon.
Yeah, that's great.
Hey, thanks, Michelle.
That's all right. Thank you, Manoj. It's been awesome talking to you and hearing the great things that are happening with Auckland hockey.
Yeah, cool. Let's just make sure that you get some good entertainment from Ryan and from Joe.
From the other guys.
Sandy and Chris.
I'm sure they'll be great.
Cool. Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, so I can run down. Is there someone who I can talk to? That was good.
I'll be looking into the sun and
So you're on 6-8.
Do Chester's in the background instead of Krystal?
Yep.
Can we turn around the other way or not?
I'm with the Storm winning captain Shay Iswa. Gosh, what a match that was. 12-0. Can you quite believe the scoreboard?
No, honestly, I've never had a 12-0 game at a really competitive level like that, but that kind of proves how the bonus point comes into play, and I thought it was really good. It really worked.
Yeah, the bonus point is something different. It made things a little bit more exciting, and gosh, the scoreboard blow out a little bit. But why was it important for you guys to keep practicing that?
Because it's a really new format, obviously, and it's something that you don't really think of when you score a goal. Usually it's all celebrations. This really gives us something to think about after we've scored our initial goal. So yeah.
So what will you guys do after now? You've got a bit of a break. What do you guys need to talk about in the sheds, because you're able to score goals and you're able to defend?
I think right now is really about rest, is getting the body right for another good game. The sun really proved to be a challenge today, in this game especially. So next game's going to be even worse. So it's all about rest, recovery, and do the same again. Yeah,
nice, good stuff. Now I'll get to the losing captain. Sorry about it, Ollie. But Ollie Patterson here. How did the guys feel? What was going through all of your heads, I suppose, when the scoreboard started to blow out?
Yeah, I think we just kept going at it. I think that's what you got to do. Make a few adjustments where you can, but you don't want to give up, and that's what we did. I think we showed some fighting there, kept passing the ball around and try to create some new spaces and see what goes.
It wasn't all down and sad, and Hamish Patel in your goal, he did some great saves. Other guys up the field as well. Who was your standout from your team?
I think Dan Easton did a really good job in midfield. I think some of his ball carrying was excellent, really strong on the ball, and just that drive with the ball, carrying it forward, but also knowing when to pass and making those breaks into the circle.
What do you guys need to do to score some goals?
I think connect better as the strikers. I think we're getting the ball there and then maybe just losing it after that first ball, whether it's the touch or then trying to pass it from there. But I think the strikers linking together, with the defence following it up, but the strikers linking together and then getting on the post, we had some good chances in there, even though the scoreline doesn't represent that, but we can convert that.
Well, hard luck, Ollie. Yeah, 12-0 loss. We'll let you go and nut that out with your team, and hopefully next game we'll see some more goals on the scoreboard.
Great, thanks, Michelle.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool.
We're all good?
Yeah.
Cool.
So next